everybody, welcome back to another edition of Matchbox Marks Diecast Restorations. Yes, it's time for another bus fleet build. So, all these buses I got from my buddy Dan Russell, faithful subscriber and viewer, and I consider him a close friend, and he sends me all kinds of fleets, and I don't like time to get away too fast before I can get them going. So with these, I'm going to do two restos. So the ones in the front, Dan sent me the decals for those two, and he did send me some decals for all of these. The four in the middle, or the five there on the end, are all identical, just different colors, and they all have the same decal, the Esso Extra Patrol. And the one on the far end is a Superfast. So I've never done a Superfast bus before, so that ought to be fun. So once again, London is calling, and I'm going to see what I can do with these. It's going to be fun. I haven't figured out the color scheme yet. So, one thing about this hobby is every casting is a wide open canvas. So I'm very excited to do this. It's going to take me a little while, like the fleet of Greyhounds. This is a fleet of 8. The Greyhounds were a fleet of 10. So obviously 2 restos. And it looks like I'm going to paint the Superfast red. So anyway. So alright. So on that note, let's get cracking. Stay tuned. Alright, so let's take a look at our fleet here. So here they are before the build. So let's take a look at these first. These are oldies. You can tell this one is old based on the wheels. And actually, I do have the decals. The players, please. And front's in good shape. Pillars are all intact. No interior on this bad boy. So anyway, this is the Route Master number 5. That one will be getting a resto. And this one here, everything is intact. And this one has an interior. So this one is a newer one. This is the Route Master bus number 5. So this one must have been the new and improved version of the other one. One thing I like about these buses, no posts. They're all just held in there by little clips and tabs and everything. So this is super fast. And none of these have any windows. So it kind of makes it fun when there's less stuff. And then I've got, these are all the same. So these are the number 74 Daimler bus. If I'm mispronouncing that, please correct me. Number 74. These are all the same. I'm not a fan of the cream color. First of all, it's going to be hard to match. And front end looks good. So these are all the same. One of these is really bent. Ah, here we go. Look at this one. Looks like somebody stepped on it for sure. So I'm going to have to just tilt it on its side and then pound it. So hopefully that will not break any pillars. A green one. That pillar's kind of bent. And I'll be taking off all the wheels, of course, and painting all the bottoms. Probably all the same color. Same bus. Another bent pillar. Only problem with these is when you straighten out the pillars, they sometimes really bend. And then here's the other one. Alright, so let's take it apart. So we have right here the one and only clip that's holding it together. So to do this right, you just gotta pry it out, and then when you put it back together, you just, there we go. They didn't break my screwdriver. So when I put it back together, I'll have to bend that in place. Now this hasn't been apart in quite a few years. Let me get my bigger tip screwdriver. See what we've got here, and this should just pull right out. Ah, I had forgotten. There's one rivet right there. I forgot about that when I did this last time. So I'm going to try to drill that out and then take the rest of these apart and see what we've got. Alright, see you in a bit. Alright, so here's the Superfast. The top is just held in by those clips. And the bottom, it looks like the chassis is held in by the interior. So I'm going to drill out those posts. And I got all the rest of these buses. Looks like a lot of buses exploded in London. I did this on my Greyhound fleet too, so I haven't had a chance to organize my fleet yet. So, and then these just pop out on the bottom. Just one tab. So all of these had that little rivet holding it in there, so I just used my burring tool. Where is it at? Right there. And just smoothed it out and it pried right apart, no problems. A lot of the interiors are grubby, but hey, these are 1974, so that would make them 46 years old. So, alright, I'm going to continue this, line them all up, and see what I've got. Stay tuned. Alright, so let's see what I've got here with all the London buses. First of all, I've got all my tires. Once again, it'll be a miracle if I don't lose any. 2 Superfast, some black and some old gray ones. Here's the axles. Unfortunately, I could not save 2 of the axles. They were pretty rusty and corroded, so I'll have to replace those. Here's the bodies, all taken apart. Bases and interiors. So very excited. A lot of them are pretty dirty, but soap and water will clean them up. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, so here's the Tupperware O-Buses. I'm going to put them all in the stripper. Obviously, I'm not going to show that process because, well, you can just visualize me placing a bus in stripper. Just trying to keep this video not so long, so alright. I will film when all the paint comes off, hopefully. The paint comes off easily. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, so here's the bucket of buses. All been bathed in the stripper. Now, we'll just let science do its thing and see what I've got in a little while. Stay tuned. Alright, so here's all the buses. Just rinsed them off of the stripper. And actually, the stripper did a good job. Only have a few that the paint was stubborn, but I'm going to take a nice Dremel and a wire wheel and get these all shined up and getting ready for primer. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, so here's all my buses, chassis and bodies, and my Kettle Cleaner Solution Degreaser. Bring this up to 160 degrees and then let it sit for a while, rinse them off, bake them at 350 for about 10 minutes, and put a coat of primer on them. Alright, took me a while to actually do the Dremel to all these things. Probably got blasted with about 10,000 shards of wire wheel metal, but I live to tell about it. Anyway, stay tuned. Alright, I got all of the interiors washed with soapy water and did all the tires and didn't lose any down my garbage disposal like I normally have to fish them out. There they are. And let's take a look at one of them, see how clean it came out. These were really dirty. Pretty clean. And this is the base of the Superfast one. There's that. And this is the oldest interior. It was really grubby. So they all came out really good. Let these dry. And then after these dry, I'm going to put a coat of TS14 on all of them. And then the gray ones, a coat of gray paint. So I'll put them on my tire holders with my toothpicks and styrofoam. All right. So I've got those, and I've got these all primed up. All primed up pretty good. Let's take a look at one for a little example here. Look at the detail. Very cool. I'm excited to do these. These are all going to be customs, except for the two restos. So, my cover's not big enough to cover these. That's why I have to keep them in the oven. So, all right. Tomorrow, put a coat of paint on them and see what I've got. Stay tuned. All right. Here's an update on the London buses. So I got all my colors picked out. These last two are going to be a surprise. So you'll see these at the final reveal. And then this one over here, I was painting and it fell off the hemostats and just landed in a bunch of dust and dirt. So I'll have to redo that. Anyway, didn't want to film this process because it's pretty long and lengthy, but just want to give you an update. All right, so stay tuned. Alright, so now I'm ready to paint the tires. Got them all on my little tire holders. And that's what I use. TS14 black. I've tried the tire wash. Didn't like it. Null oil. I do those sometimes. Or I use that sometimes. But this, man, is the tried and true method. Makes them look brand spanking new. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, I have got all the buses together. Well, not together, but already all painted up and ready to be put back together. Just got back into town from vacation yesterday from Colorado Springs, so excited to get back into my builds again. So I'm going to put these together and stay tuned for the final reveal. Alright, it is time for the reveal for my London bus fleet. So, let's start off with my two little ones. This here was kind of a resto. I accidentally put on the wrong decal, and it turns out, so I really can't call this a resto. Anyway, painted nice red, and I had to replace the axles on this one. So there's the first one. And leave a comment to the one you like the best. Out of the 7, this was the only resto I did. Got the Players Please decal, the gray wheels, and chromed out the front end on this one. Paint came out pretty decent. No interior on this one. Alright, so let's get this one off. And the Superfast was kind of tricky. I ended up doing a wheel swap on it, and I went ahead and did London City Tours. Got the Union Jack, as it's called, the British flag. So these buses had no interiors on them, and as you can see in the roof, I had to paint some black with a paintbrush, which I don't like doing, but I didn't want to redo it. I got some glue on the roof, but it happens. So here is the Superfast, my only Superfast London double-decker bus I have in my collection. Alright, and I did a wheel swap on this one too, because the other wheels were pretty bad. And now it is time for the masterpieces. These all came out so good. Alright, there's the first one. Got the decal from Dan, and got the Union Jack on each side, and chromed out the hubcaps, and detailed the front end. as it's coming around. Same thing on this side. And they roll still pretty good. And the base I painted black, and the back portion right here is black, as you can see. It just kind of, it's a good color contrast. There's that one. And here's my orange one I did. I had a whole bunch of Matchbox decals for my previous Greyhound bus fleet and got the Union Jack on there. So, did all the same front ends, chromed out the headlights and everything. As it's coming around, clean the interiors, and actually got the flags from Google Images and just put it on some water slide decal paper. And there's the back, how you can see the color difference, which I actually kind of like. So, there's that one. The next two are my favorite. So, I did two identical London City Tours. The Union Jack is the same color as the American flag, red, white, and blue. So I wanted to paint the buses red, white, and blue. And got the London City Tours for all of the tourists coming in who want to tour the great city of London. There's that. And finally, the last one, I painted in my go-to chrome yellow. Got the BP Long Life, the Union Jack, and I decided to put London City Tours on the bottom of this one too. So, I think they all came out pretty good. This was a pretty big project. It was lengthy, time-consuming, but well worth it. It's just so much fun customizing these because, you know, when they come from the factory, they only have the one little stencil on the side, so I wanted to jazz them up. So, alright, I'm going to pause the video and lay them out front and see what I've got. Stay tuned. Alright, so here's all the buses, all 8 of them. This is really a fun resto / custom. Been doing a lot of buses lately. So, but they're fun. Leave a comment as to which one you like the best. I always like to hear from you guys and everything. And I want to thank Dan Russell for sending these to me. Dan, hopefully I did them proud. And I want to thank you for watching. Stay tuned until the end of the video for upcoming future builds. And I just want to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.